There are games which need no introduction whatsoever. Games which you've either played many times from the beginning without getting tired of them, or managed to avoid until the hype died down and then played after opinions were long since set in stone. This is one of those games. In any case, with thanks to John Riccardi of 8.4 for providing a review copy, I am Liquid12A, reviewing the forthcoming Nintendo Switch port of Undertale. At this point, nearly 3 years after the original release, you more than likely already know the plot to Undertale somehow. But for the sake of those who don't, a summary. Undertale is the story of a child who falls deep into an underground world, full of monsters who had all been banished there by humanity so long ago. The child's unexpected arrival puts the monster populace on edge, unsurprisingly, and after some interactions with a friendly monster called Toriel, the child is thrust into the greater underground, determined to make their way back to the surface whilst unraveling the unknown aspects of the world around them. For the full experience, Undertale practically begs you to go in blind, unspoiled. Most games do, really, but story-driven ones like Undertale demand it, particularly given how mixed opinions can be towards how specific parts of the plot are handled. The gameplay of Undertale is well documented in how it's a large departure from other classic RPGs, namely those which heavily inspired it in the form of Earthbound and Mother 3. The core elements of an RPG, namely random battles, combat, experience systems, and puzzles are all there. It's the combat which differs so heavily. Avoiding attacks from an enemy is all about moving your soul, represented by the red heart, and dodging the attacks thrown at you, which reach bullet hell levels of crazy at times. Retaliating involves one of two options: striking an enemy as normal with a target reticle for higher damage, or not attacking at all and ending the fight peacefully by talking, playing, or whatever option is available to ultimately spare a foe. The decision of how you fight your battles has major effects later, particularly in the rest of the story, which is spurred on by the multiple endings, encouraging multiple playthroughs for the whole experience. It's these mechanics intertwined with the plot that give Undertale a great deal of replay value and makes repeat playthroughs worthwhile for the sake of experimentation. But because you've likely heard all of that in most Undertale reviews already, let's talk about changes made to the game when transitioning to the Switch. And it's about what you'd expect. The button prompts for the 3 commands you'll ever use, accept, cancel, and menus, can all be rebound as you please, allowing great versatility with whatever controller you decide to use. There are several small differences in dialogue and interface given the PC to console transition, though some involve spoilers and are best experienced firsthand. Overall, Undertale's transition from a keyboard to the Switch is very much seamless, much like its transition to the PlayStation 4 and Vita, and it keeps everything great about Undertale intact. Undertale's retro-style presentation continues to hold up. The graphics are admittedly as plain-looking as they've always been, and your mileage may vary on that, but elements like the music, the backgrounds, and the UI, particularly in battles, still leave quite the impression, delivering on the aesthetic Undertale strives for. Much like the gameplay before it, nothing about the presentation has been lost in the PC to Switch transition. The only major change, one shared with the PlayStation 4 version, would be the borders, a necessity given the game's original 4:3 aspect ratio. But these are non-intrusive, and even have several different variants to choose from, more unlocked after beating the game in different ways, so it's a neat bonus. Of course, the presentation would not succeed if the port was sloppily made. And unsurprisingly, it's not sloppily made. The same care delivered with other ports of Undertale is present here. And on the Switch, it runs exactly like the original, with no stuttering or lagging. When you die, it won't be the fault of any performance issues, and that is how it should be in a game like this. In the end, what else is there to say about Undertale which hasn't been said many times already? Opinions vary on how plot aspects are handled, and by extension, some of their effects on the gameplay, but that's not the important part here. As a port of the 2015 original, Undertale on the Nintendo Switch is a fine experience. And whether you're unfamiliar with the game or already bought it so long ago, a $15 price tag won't break your wallet, and you're given one of the most unique RPGs in recent memory with much replay value even after you've already beaten it. And with all that in mind, I am giving the Nintendo Switch port of Undertale a 4.5 out of 5. Let us know what you think of the game below if you buy it. A special thanks to 84 and John Biccardi for making the review possible, and our patrons who help keep our site up and running. Make sure to like the video if you want to see more, and subscribe for more content and news straight from the source. I am Liquid12A, signing off.